I was introduced to Katie through a mutual friend of ours who had worked with her before and knew that I was going through a hard time personally, and suggested that Katie would really be able to help me deal with some of that. So I knew a little bit about what Katie did, particularly on the human design side, but I didn't really have much of an idea what to expect from a transformational healing session. So I went into the experience with my eyes and mind wide open, and I was so glad that I did, and so glad that I decided to work with Katie, because it really was an amazing experience. From the moment I walked in, I just felt instantly at ease. The space that Katie held for me, the space that she had created, just felt perfect. It was relaxed, nurturing. I walked in to find blankets and duvets on the floor in front of an open fire. There were candles burning. There was incense. There was just, the setting just instantly put me at ease. And the healing itself I would describe as, for me, a combination of massage, body manipulation, aromatherapy, kind of energy work, talking therapy. But what I would say is I've very much got the impression that Katie tailors each healing session to the individual, and it certainly felt that way for me. So at the start of the session, when Katie started working around my body, I was aware that there was lots I was holding on to, lots that I need to let go of. And to start with, it really felt that way. I could really feel Katie working around my body, really trying to loosen some of that stuck energy. And when that started to happen, it was really, really quite incredible. I just started to feel Katie loosening energy in different parts of my body. And as that process went on, I started to feel her moving energy around my body, particularly negative energy, and pushing it up towards my head and brushing it out of my body is the only way I can describe it. It was really not like anything I'd experienced before. And as this went on, and this energy started to be loosened, then the release came. And it started off with emotional release, and I could honestly just describe it as like a padlock being undone. And all of a sudden, all of the pain and the sadness that I was feeling started to be released. And then that turned into quite an intense release of anger, which was something that I'd been struggling with. I could feel it there in the run up to the session, but wasn't really, it was buried so deep that I wasn't really able to work with it using any of the spiritual practices that I have for myself. So when that started to be unlocked as well and was released as this kind of almost like a volcano erupting, just this intense, almost animalistic release of anger, I felt able to do that because of the nurturing environment and the security that Katie had created. And after that release, after I'd let go of all this pain and sadness and anger, that was when the healing moved on to something altogether different. All of this negative energy had been released, it was gone, I felt relieved of it, and in its place was just this feeling of content, and I suppose just that feeling of being connected to the universe and to love, and just plugged into that interconnectedness that we all share. And I'd had experiences of that type before, but nothing quite in this way, not as a direct result of someone working so carefully and mindfully and intuitively with my own body. It was really, really quite special. And as I laid there and started to become surrounded by this feeling of love, which was really, really important for me, because it was in my heart that I'd really felt a lot of stuck energy, and that there was a lot of stuff that needed to be released prior to the session. And I began to feel this glow of love and this green, warm glow surrounding my body, and almost like I was breathing in love and exhaling love out into the universe is the only way I can describe it. And to know that Katie was the one that unlocked that for me, and enabled me to experience that was amazing, and something that I'll always be grateful to her for. And the other thing that happened for me was that there was the realization that after all this pain and sadness and grief and anger had fallen away, that, well, firstly, that all there is in its place is love and kindness and compassion, which were concepts that I've been familiar with, but also a realization that also there is forgiveness. That the only thing preventing forgiveness is the things that we hold on to, particularly negative feelings and emotions that we hold on to, instead of letting them go as they arise. And that was a really, really important thing for me, really important. Because, yeah, there was a lot of forgiveness that needed to happen, both for people in my life that had hurt me, and also for myself. And since the ceremony, and as this has all been integrating, I've come to realise that I'd sort of shut myself off from feeling in order to protect myself. And there was a realisation that I need to forgive myself for that and allow myself to feel again. And I feel that all this has come off the back of the work that I did with Katie. And yeah, I will be eternally grateful to her for that. Honestly, I would say that transformational healing work is for anybody. However deep your personal practice, whatever you've got going on or don't have going on, everybody has things that they need to work with. Everybody has energy that's stuck in their body. It's just the world that we live in. You know, we live in a society where we are not living the interconnected life with nature and each other that we've evolved to do, and the result of that is that there's so much stuck energy and so much frustration and confusion in our bodies, and it takes someone quite special to know how to work with and unlock that. And what I would say with Katie is that there are obviously skills that you learn in order to do this work, but it also takes a certain type of person, a certain intuition, in order to know what to do and to feel that. And I absolutely feel that Katie has that. So yeah, I would recommend it for anyone. As I say, I've had various healing therapies in the past. Alternative, holistic, spiritual therapies, but there's nothing quite like this that I've experienced. And the beautiful thing about it is the individual nature of it, and the fact that the experience that you would have will be completely and uniquely personal to you. And I guarantee that if you work with Katie, that you will learn something. You will find some peace. You will grow, and you will learn things about yourself and your path. And again, I will be eternally grateful for Katie.